Hey guys, Grumpy here with episode 14 of our Zero to Hero Let's Play as Mercury God. So in the previous episode, we completed the missions that were outstanding. Thankfully, I checked the intel screen and we were able to complete those. Now we're commissioned with Tritachyon, so the next step is going to be grind reputation with them, get up to cooperative, maybe not so far as cooperative, maybe favorable would be enough, but we really need to start getting some good fleets mixed into our current fleet. Good ships, yeah, good ships mixed into our current fleet. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna refit our strikes to make them a little more potent. Right now they're using these IR pulse lasers. That's no good. We can go ahead and upgrade those to antimatter blasters. All right. Thank you. They don't need stabilized shield. Instead, I think it would do better with capacity and vents like this. And then we'll name this one Arc. The Arc doesn't matter. That's just what I would choose to name it. I think that's a fitting name. Arc. Alright. And then let's make sure these are linked. Yes, they are. And they are all in the same channel. Fantastic. Alrighty. So, in the previous episode, once we got commissions, we immediately went hostile with the Ludic Church, or sorry, with the Persians. So let's go ahead and see if we can find some Persian fleets to, or some Persian convoys to raid. I don't mind being hostile with the Persians. It's okay. The main drawback is that the world that we normally trade with, Marioth, which is next to the bandit station, it happens to be a Persian world, so you know that old thing. Anything in here that's interesting? Not anything particular that we need. What about on the black market? Oh, I didn't check the black market of Kulan. Let's see what they have on offer. Yeah, let's see what they have on offer. Also, we could restore this heron. It'll cost just a bit too much though. Let's check the fleets. Let's check the black market. I have a Medusa. Oh, they have another Afflictor. Yeah, I'll buy the Afflictor. Actually, let's buy the Fury and the Afflictor. Alright, we'll repair our ships, and then let's head over to Mysora, and then go ahead and refit. Alright, so this is the fun. This is where the fun begins. This is my favorite part of the game. It's just building up the currency and the capital that we need. Fighting merchant convoys is my bread and butter. If you watch me on Twitch, you know that this is how I make the majority of my credits. Doing bounties and exploration is okay money. Hitting a very large merchant convoy can net you anywhere from like 400k to about 1 million, depending on how large the convoy is. Alright. Plus it's combat. And who doesn't like combat? Alrighty. So for core world fights, I don't need 2 herons. It's a bit overkill. We can go ahead and put 1 back. Let's take out our I was gonna say let's take out our champion, but I seem to be a champion short. I don't have a champion on this playthrough. Alright, let's go ahead and outfit our Aurora here. Let's see if we can get an officer. You're level 6 and you have missile specialization and ordnance expertise and energy weapon mastery. Yeah, we'll go ahead and hire you. So we'll have this officer for 2 years, and then when their contract expires, they'll leave our fleet. So we'll go ahead and hire you. The only drawback is that it costs a story point to do this, but that's not so bad. Alright, let's go ahead and refit you with this officer in mind. You're steady. I'd rather you be aggressive, but that's okay. So we're gonna go all Reapers. We're gonna go for Sabos on the sides, antimatter blasters on the fronts. Oop, that needs to be a Reaper. This needs to be an antimatter blaster, and then in the large slots, we're gonna go with ion pulsers, and on the side burst laser. Okay. So a little bit of design philosophy. The Aurora is a very powerful ship. It is fast. It is maneuverable, and it has synergy slots. So you can put either a missile or a energy system in this slot. So the way I maximize the damage out of the Aurora is I use Reapers combined with an officer that has missile specialization. Then I also add expanded missile racks, and I go ahead and build that in. So what this means is that every Aurora that I design this way has 12 Reapers that they can bring into combat. And it is very similar to the original design that the game offers. But what sets it apart is also the second layer of damage, which comes from the antimatter blasters. And then the ion pulser is just disabling weapon systems. You don't really need both ion pulsers. One suffices, but I don't really know what else to put in the other one, and they don't really cost that much flux, so I'm fine with that being there. Next up, we need shield conversion front, which we don't have, but we will get eventually now that we're commissioned. So that'll just make it a little better. Instead, we can go with extended shields for now. We'll also go with stabilized shields. And let's go ahead and start adding in the vents and the flux. And the capacity. Okay. And that'll be the ship for now. We'll auto assign the weapon groups. The Reapers should be on alternating. The antimatter blasters should be linked. The Sabos I want together on the same channel. And I also want them linked, which they are. Fantastic. And then the ion pulsers on auto fire and the burst PD laser on auto fire as well. Alright. Okay, so that ship is done. This ship is very much so overkill for the core worlds. Not many ships can go toe to toe with this, but again, it's better. Overkill is better than no kill. Alright, next up, let's design the Fury. So the Fury is similar to the Aurora. It's a very fast ship, very maneuverable, but it suffers in that it doesn't have nearly as much flux capacity and flux dissipation that the Aurora has inherently. But where it shines is in its shield flux per damage is going to be higher. It's going to be better on the Fury. So the reason this one is lower is because this captain has field modulation. But just base, the Fury has much better shields than the Aurora. Let's go ahead and add a ion beam. Let's add a heavy blaster up front, and then I think I'm all out of antimatter blasters. Let's go ahead and strip them off the strikes. And instead, we'll design our strikes with point defense in mind. So let's go PD. We'll replace the ion pulsar with something like an ion beam, and then we'll go ahead and give you harpoon finishers. And for your main, we can give you the ion pulse laser. Alright. So not so exciting of a ship, but its job is mostly support. It'll provide point defense overwatch for the rest of my fleet. In fact, let's go ahead and buy some more PD lasers or antimatter blasters. Okay, that is fine by me. So in that case, we'll leave one strike as the DPS version. Next up, we'll jump back into our brawler here. The Phaeton is unnecessary now that we're in the core worlds. Do I have a second atlas? I do. Let's go ahead and take that. And then I think that's it. Alright. We need to go ahead and refit you when we pull in. But you need... Here, you know what? Here, let's... You know what? You're not going to be support. You're also going to be damage. Let's go ahead and give you 2 heavy blasters and an antimatter blaster. And then on your backside, we'll give you some burst PD. And we'll give you a little more PD. We're very short on point defense, as you can see. We'll give you long range PD. That was, we'll give you, actually, we'll just give you short range PD. That was one thing I should have paid more attention to, was buying PD lasers as we went around. That's not going to work. The flux dissipation isn't... We need to replace this with a missile. I'll give you harpoons. Okay. The flux dissipation and the weapon flux weren't really in sync there. That's a little better. I'm okay with that. So the sabos will do kinetic damage, the heavy blaster and the harpoons, and the antimatter blaster will all do the killing blow. The harpoons is to give it longer range than the heavy blaster and the antimatter blaster. And then we'll give you long range PD, and then we'll give you burst PD. And then we'll go ahead and add in I'll give you stabilized shield, sure. Yeah, we'll give you stabilized shields, that's fine. Alright. I don't think we need this afflictor. And I think this is a good enough fleet for the core worlds. No fleet is really like too scary to us. Short of like going against, you know, a stacked hedge fleet that has onslaughts and all kinds of other large threats. The core worlds are mostly chill. They mostly have like 1 or 2 cruisers, even in the large fleets, and a few destroyers, and mostly frigates. So as long as we can break through their cruisers, those fleets never pose a problem to us. Alright, let's go ahead and buy some... Oh, nice. We get the Cyclone Reaper Launcher. Phase Anchor, Advanced Optics, Integrated Targeting Unit. Okay. No PD for sale, which is interesting, because normally PD rains from the sky. But I guess we haven't been doing a lot of combat. We'll buy the needlers while we're here. I'm getting all the rare weapons and none of the the common ones, which is interesting. All right. All right, we're doing some last minute adjustments. All right. Let's give you efficiency overhaul, expanded magazines. We'll give you stabilized shields. What that'll do is it'll cut the shield flux per second in half. So it costs 9, and it saves us 90, which would be the same as allocating additional 9 points to vents. Alright. I'm not so sure I'm convinced on this design, but it's okay. Alright. And now let's go ahead and outfit our Atlas here, so that's similarly designed. So we need AUG fields, expanded cargo holds. We'll go ahead and build both of these in. Oh, thank goodness they're oriented the same way. Alright, let's go militarize subsystems for increased speed. And then we can go for high resolution sensors to make it easier to find enemy fleets. Alright, high resolution sensors. Oh, well, we can go with efficiency overhaul actually. Nah, we'll go high resolution sensors. Okay. And with that, I think we have a somewhat decent fleet. Oh, yikes. Alright. We'll finish outfitting the Heron. The Heron unfortunately has energy slots instead of ballistic slots. Making it a kind of an awkward, a little bit of an awkward ship to design for. We'll reduce the tridents down to daggers, and then we'll fill out the rest with, we'll just use IR pulse lasers. Now this design I'm not in love with, but we're just limited on the ships that we have. We'll clean this up later as we get more and more weapons. Alright, let's go ahead and put everything up. And let's start raiding. We need some heavy machinery. We have supplies, and we also have crew we need. We might do well with a little bit of fuel. And a bit more supply. A little bit more crew. Alright. Let's go ahead. So places that I normally hang out is right here in this pocket. In between all these worlds. I also like to hang out down here sometimes. This is a little less successful. And then here's the third pocket that I like to hang out in. So it'd probably be 1, 2, and 3. Because we're hunting specifically Persian fleets, we may want to hang out back here. There's a lot of Persian worlds. So Western Tile, Antilla, Thule, right? Like back here. There's also Zagan. I think we'll give this a try because there's Salamanca over here, so we could get lucky and find like a long distance Persian fleet. But let's go ahead and jump into hyperspace and see what we can find. Traveling to Kazaron. Alright. We can go ahead and sensor burst, see if we can identify anyone else around us. Nope. Ooh. This is something to be aware of. In your missions, you're going to see things like this. So, Mercantile Convoy is heading from Maslow to Argus, and it'll leave in 6 days. So this is not a good one because they're only carrying food, domestic goods, and luxury goods. It's not really going to be worth it. But there are some that carry the supplies, the ship hulls, armaments, and heavy machinery that we're looking for. So you do want to be on the lookout for that. Alright. Stop moving around so much because we're burning excess fuel. Let's just hang out here for a second. Alright. Traveling to Kazaron, huh? Delivering organics to Syndria. That's not worth it. Okay. This is a bit like fishing, huh? Just casually lure out and wait. Alright. I would like to show off one. I may end up just putting a cut in this video if I don't find a convoy soon. Oh, we also get a large income because of the commission that we carry. Harvested. The second that I cut the video, a hedge fleet appears carrying the convoy. It's the exact convoy it's the exact merchandise that we're looking for. So supplies, heavy armaments, ship hulls, and it has the correct quantity. It has an Atlas and a Colossus. So the big bad is the Dominator, the Mora, and that's about it. Nothing else there is too scary. So we're gonna go ahead and pick this fleet apart. We'll go over some tactics, and we'll just demonstrate kind of the strength of the Aurora and the Heron that it provides, the benefit that the Heron provides to combat. All right. So we want to go intercept. Okay, cool. So here is the Dominator. It seems like a big bag threat, but because we're so maneuverable and most of our ships are maneuverable, we can easily get behind it. The real problem is going to be the Mora. The Mora is just a brick. It just sits there and soaks damage. Because it has a damper field, it makes it an extremely tanky carrier. So it's not subject to the same, tragedy that befalls the Heron, where the Heron is a great carrier, has a lot of support, but it itself is weak. The Mora is a great carrier and it's tanky, so it can be a problem. We'll probably end up killing the Mora last, just because I don't want to waste that much time going after it. But other than that, this fleet is pretty much tame. Nothing too scary beyond those two threats. So let's go ahead and jump in. Sure. We'll continue command. Ooh, we get the large battlefield. Interesting. So we'll go ahead and deploy our strikes. There isn't a lot of missile spam, I don't think, so we won't deploy the support strike. We'll just deploy the DPS one. We'll deploy the Fury, the Heron, and the Aurora. as well as the 2 omens and myself. Yeah. You have an ion cannon. That could be useful. Alright, so same thing as always. We're going to put the omens on myself. I'm going to have the PD. Oh, you can't really tell which one's which, huh? I'm going to have the point defense one, which is this one, support the Heron. And then I'm going to have the DPS ship support the Aurora. The Aurora can pick its own targets, and the Fury can also pick its own targets. Alright. We don't really have to worry about grabbing these objectives because we don't have any other ships to deploy. So securing objectives, besides giving us the little bonuses that they do, won't really add anything to the combat. Like, we don't have more ships that we need to bring in. Alright. So once the omens are near us, which it looks like they're swift approaching, we can go ahead and advance. And we'll try to shadow the Fury. Whatever the Fury ends up picking, we'll probably assist them in that. And then just in general, I would like my fleet to stick together. No need to overextend. Oh, you sent something? Nice. Oh, beautiful. So that's the Enforcer off the battlefield. So something that I noticed the AI likes to do is it'll use Reapers. So I always thought it uses the Reapers to destroy a target. It can if it will, but what it really likes to use the Reapers for is for an insane amount of shield pressure. So you'll often see what I thought was them mistiming their Reapers. It's them just trying to apply more pressure to somebody's shields. Not necessarily flying upside down. It's not necessarily them missing with their shields. Alright. I'm going to tell the Heron to go ahead and start striking the Dominator. And in the meantime, nice. I was hoping exactly that. I was going to try to turn the Dominator away from the rest of my fleet so that it starts taking damage from the carriers. Alright, let's go ahead and drop our shield really quick. And then we'll switch off. The Dominator is dead. Alright, and with the biggest threat off the field, we'll just issue a full assault order. And we'll let everybody else pick up their own targets. Alright, and I believe that's it. Oh wow. The Moor is actually applying pressure to the Aurora. Interesting. Alright. Good shot. We'll go ahead and clean up this Centurion. The Centurion is also a tank, similar to how the Monitor is a tank, but where they differ is that I should back off. Where they differ between the Monitor and the Centurion is that the Monitor, or the Centurion, it has damper fields, so it has to rely on its hit, like being hit, in order for it to tank. Oh, you destroyed my omen. It relies on being hit in order to tank, whereas the Monitor, its defense is in its very powerful shield, so it never has to worry about taking damage. He took down my omen there. Anyway, we'll go ahead and pursue, obviously, because we want to get the supplies, so we'll pursue them. And we'll take command of the action. With a bunch of fast ships, this should be no problem. We'll go ahead and deploy that Nuts and the Fury as well. We'll do a full assault order, and we'll specifically tell the Fury to catch the Buffalo, tell the Aurora to catch the Colossus, and we'll tell the Shrike to catch something relatively fast, like the Dram. I'll take care of the rest of the ships. Yeah, so I really want to monitor, just to show off how effective it is, and I'll need it for the upcoming fight. I'll need at least 2, possibly 3 of them. Thankfully, they're not so difficult to find. Alright, let's go ahead and kill the mule. This is perfect. So we're probably going to get a double kill here. If I can keep the buffalo nearby. Nice. Alright, what is left? We have an Atlas that's somehow managing to get away. Or not an Atlas. I think a Dram got away. Let's see if you can take that. You can take that. You can take that. You can also take that. Hopefully nothing gets away, but we'll see. It's down here, Colossus. Alright. Yeah, there's a Colossus down here. And I think everything else is gone. No, the Wayfarer is gonna get away. That's unfortunate. Alright, let's be careful of that Reaper. Reapers don't have names on them. They will blow up your ship as well. Alright, we will take the Atlas and we won't pay the 1 for the Omen. Now that we're commissioned with Tritachyon, Omens are gonna, be raining from the sky. But what we will do is we will pay 1 story point for the Dominator. That's gonna help us in the upcoming fight. We can go ahead and take this and claim our spoils. Alright, so I'm gonna end the episode here. I'm gonna drop off the goods off screen like we talked about, just to save some time, and then we'll pick back up with another raid in the next episode. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Grumpy out.